Now joining me on the Peerless Boilers hotline, he is the best NFL insider in the business. You can catch him each and every Sunday on Fox. That is my man, the great Jay Glazer. Jay, Zach Gelb here, TalkUSA.tv. Thank you for joining me, and how are you this evening?
Zach, always for you, buddy. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing great, and I know you are a UFC fanatic. Jim Harbaugh and Schwartz got into a little altercation at the end of the game. If those two men were to step into a cage, who would win?
I probably have to go with Harbaugh. I mean, Harbaugh's a tough dude. He talks to his team about the street fights he's been into, and I think I'm going to have to go. You know, those who know him know he's a little scrappy, but I would suggest to every NFL head coach out there, you don't really know what the hell you're doing. Not even how to fight, so please don't.
Well, let me ask you this. Were you in awe that there was no suspension or fine for these two head coaches? Because if that was a player who did that at the end of the game, those players would have got at least a $15,000 fine.
I don't know, because there was no punches being thrown. You know, there's no precedent, really. You got to remember this. Coaches are held to a higher standard. So I got to think that if this happens, most players know. They're not going to get fined. Because really, all that's happening is a couple guys, you know, they have words with each other, they were separated and moved on. And same thing, if there's just players, nobody would thought twice about it. I think with the coaches as well. Look, if anything, they have to go and say, yeah, it was pretty dumb of us, and, you know, it's, the street cred will probably go up inside their locker room, and they'll probably get some ribbons from their guys. But it's more, I think it's better for us than anything, because we can have an awful lot of fun now. And, you know, shoot, trust me, Zach, I've called all my buddies in the league who are coaches, tell them how I think they'll all get their asses kicked by somebody. It's been great.
There's a lot of dealing and wheeling at the trade deadline, more than we have seen in years past. Carson Palmer went from the Cincinnati Bengals to the Oakland Raiders. What can we expect from Carson Palmer? You know, he has missed a lot of time. He wasn't at training camp this year with the Bengals, and also he hasn't really played a game since a year.
Yeah, but you got to remember, he's a guy who knows Hugh Jackson's system better than anybody. And, you know, he's been with Hugh for years and years, and they've been tight since college. And so, you know, he not only does Hugh get his guy, but he gets somebody in there who can immediately help out and teach his system to, you know, a little bit better than some of the younger guys. So I think you'll have a easier transition as far as him knowing the offense. I think it'll be difficult because he has no timing yet with the receivers.
We're talking to the best NFL insider in the business, Jay Glazer from Fox Sports. And Jay, Brandon Lloyd got traded from the Denver Broncos to the St. Louis Rams. Only a 6th-round pick given up for him. Are you a little stunned by that?
No, I mean, it's you know, there wasn't a huge market for him out there. There's some teams who are calling, but not willing to give up a lot because he's entitled. You got to give him, you know, he's a free agent after the year, so you got to give a big contract to him, or you're only renting him for a short time. So I'm not too surprised about that. You know, I'm glad to see the Rams finally do something to give Sam Bradford a receiver, but I wish it would have been done a little earlier with, you know, some of the moves they could have made. But, you know, it was just, you know, there obviously wasn't a lot of options out there.
Is Steve Spagnuolo, is he on the hot seat? You know, a lot of big expectations for the St. Louis Rams this year, and they've been dreadful at 0-5.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody who's owing anything is on the hot seat, of course. And, you know, it's a shame because Spags is a very good coach in New York, and it just never clicked out there. And, you know, it's a place that they really, you look at them, they don't have very good personnel. You know, they got no receivers. They're banged up heavily on defense, and, you know, they don't really have any corners. It's you know, it's a tough situation. And all of that, the owner situation, that's always been kind of up in the air there. So it's kind of an odd place.
Do you think Ocho Cinco has received a little bit of a boot of confidence? I know that you were reporting that the Patriots showed some interest in Brandon Lloyd. Do you think the Patriots did that just necessarily to give some confidence to Ocho Cinco, who has been struggling?
No, I mean, here's the thing with Ocho. When you're with Cincinnati and you mess up, and he messes up, it's kind of like, oh, let's move on to the next play. He messed up. Hey, Ocho, you got to do this. And even if he messes up in a game, he screws up in a game, Carson would really cover for him. Marvin, I think, would cover for him. In New England, if you don't do things exactly, perfectly, step by step, the way that Bill and Tom expect, you're just not going to play. There's no, oh, I messed up, it's okay, but he'll make a big play for us, you know, down the road. That's not how it works there. You got to show them, I'm going to be perfect out here for you before they trust you to put you out there.
The Patriots' rival is the New York Football Jets, who they have defeated up in Foxborough. The Jets have been struggling. They did reel off a nice victory against the Miami Dolphins on Monday Night Football. Do you believe the Jets are back on track? This is a very telling game this week when they host the San Diego Chargers.
I don't know if they're back on track. You know, they got to get their running game going a lot better. And, you know, I got to see more from Sean Green and LaDainian and get to that. got to get those guys going for Sanchez to be effective.
I have a few injury questions for you. I know it's early in the week. Antonio Cromartie, Nick Mangold, and Antonio Gates.
Too early in the week. And I don't really give out injury info until my show on Sunday. So I always kind of sit here and wait, and I do my ins and outs on Sundays, and it's just too early anyway. I can tell you one thing right now, but I'd be lying here because things change by Friday. We would have told you weeks ago that Peyton Hillis would have been fine. He could play, and then all of a sudden, boom, Sunday morning, Shepard is still, he takes himself out.
All right, well, let's stay here with the New York Jets. So that's fair enough. I understand that. Plaxico Burress, he has been a bust so far with the Jets. At the end of the year, people will classify Plaxico Burress's year with the Jets as?
Right now, it's underwhelming. We got to see. I think they were trying to force it into him a little bit too much. But also, you got to remember, Michael Vick's first year out of prison, he was the same. He was slow. He was not effective. It took him a little while to get his game legs back under him. I think Plaxico will have a much better year next year. I think it takes him a little while. You've got to recondition your body, Zach, to really take these hits and the kind of cutting that these guys have to do, the stretch that they put on their body. You got to recondition your body, and it doesn't happen with a couple weeks here or there.
I love watching Jay Glazer each and every Sunday on Fox. And Jay, one more question right before we let you go. The Giants enter a bye week. They had a nice victory against the Buffalo Bills last week. What do you make out of the Giants season so far? Because you've really seen two teams, especially from at the quarterback position. Eli Manning 1 week throws interceptions and costs them the game. And the next week he looked like a stud quarterback. Turn over the ball, I guess, is the key theme for every team in the league, but especially for the New York Football Giants in this young season.
Remember, too, they've done much better than anybody expected, and that's without Brandon Jacobs and Justin Tuck and O.C. Ewing for a lot of the season. So they get Tuck back, Brandon back. O.C.'s already back. That pass rush it's tough. The Giants can do some damage. You got a running game and a defense, and you have Eli complimented there. It's going to be a tough team, and really tougher than we all thought.
Jay, a couple fans in the chat room are asking if they could get any hint on any insights for tonight's Verizon Trivia Challenge. I would imagine you're going to say no, but any hints?
I haven't seen the questions yet. But make sure you go on Verizon.com. We start at 9 o'clock Eastern. We give away great prize, including two Super Bowl trips for tickets, hotel, airfare, and some loot, some money.
Jay, have fun. Thank you so much. Enjoy Week 7 in the National Football League.
See you, my friend.